Chandrayaan-3 was meant to be a triumph, a symbol of India's growing dominance in space exploration. It landed where no other nation had dared, the ancient and shadowy south pole of the Moon. But after the images arrived and the first soil scans were transmitted back to Earth, the celebration began to fade, replaced by silence, then whispers, and finally, a warning. This isn't science fiction. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is what happens when the most advanced rover ever sent to the Moon discovers a material that defies physics, and something even stranger lying beneath the surface. Let's break down the impossible discovery that has shaken the global scientific community and led a Nobel-level mind to say, "We're not ready." When India's space agency, ISRO, launched Chandrayaan-3, it wasn't just another lunar mission. It was a comeback, the direct successor to the failed Chandrayaan-2 landing attempt in 2019. This time, everything went right. The Vikram lander touched down with flawless precision near the Moon's south pole, a region permanently cloaked in darkness, colder than Pluto, and untouched by any nation's probe until now. Why the South Pole? For decades, this region had been the holy grail of lunar science. Radar scans had suggested ancient water ice, minerals trapped in craters, and perhaps signs of a deeper mystery. But no one had dared to land there. The terrain is treacherous, the light unreliable, and the temperatures deadly. But ISRO pulled it off, and with that, India joined an elite group of spacefaring nations. The mission's early data confirmed what scientists had hoped: frozen water, silicate-rich dust, and useful metals like magnesium and aluminum, a perfect combination for future lunar bases. But buried beneath those headlines was a darker, more disturbing discovery, one that never made it to any press conference. As the Pragyan rover moved across the powdery regolith, it began scanning the Moon's surface using state-of-the-art spectrometers. The goal? To identify the precise chemical composition of the soil. But what it found left scientists in disbelief. A substance never before seen in any known sample, lunar, terrestrial, or extraterrestrial. It didn't match any known mineral on Earth. It didn't reflect light as expected. It appeared to absorb electromagnetic radiation, even bend it in unpredictable ways. One engineer described it as an energy sponge. Michio Kaku called it a terrifying anomaly. Why? Because if this substance formed naturally, it means our entire understanding of material science is flawed. But if it didn't form naturally, that means someone, or something, put it there. That discovery alone would be enough to spark international emergency meetings. But it was only the beginning. After the initial scans, ISRO activated Chandrayaan-3's ground-penetrating radar, designed to peer beneath the lunar crust. What it found sent shockwaves through mission control. Beneath the rover's wheels, several meters down, a massive hollow void was detected. But it wasn't random. The radar images revealed geometric structures, straight lines, symmetrical angles, repeating patterns. The early diagrams looked less like caves and more like architectural blueprints. After reviewing the scans, Kaku described them as metallic, organized, intentional, and likely ancient. And to make things even more disturbing, the void was massive, big enough to house a small city. Then came the heat. Instruments began detecting strange thermal fluctuations, rising and falling with no solar input. The Moon, geologically dead for billions of years, was showing signs of internal energy. Could it be residual heat from unknown materials, a functioning system, or an artificial structure that's still active? For the first time, scientists began asking the unthinkable. Did we just uncover an ancient alien base? Or worse, a forgotten human one? In the days following the underground scans, the Pragyan rover began to malfunction. It stopped responding to commands. It sent back corrupted data packets. Its movements, once stable, became erratic. ISRO officials blamed mechanical stress, but off the record, engineers weren't convinced. One anonymous source said the malfunctions began exactly when the rover passed over the deepest part of the anomaly. Another suggested the unknown material may have caused electromagnetic interference, disrupting the rover's systems. And then, silence. Pragyan stopped transmitting. This wasn't just a hardware failure. It was a mystery, on top of a discovery, wrapped in a warning. If what lies beneath the moon's south pole is ancient and still active, then every step we take could be triggering a system we do not understand. Michio Kaku is now calling for a global coalition, urging that no nation explore the anomaly alone. He warns, we may have just awakened something that was never meant to be touched. As news of Chandrayaan-3’s silence spread, world governments began paying close attention. The discovery of a mysterious substance, a geometric void, and the rover's sudden blackout triggered international security protocols usually reserved for nuclear events. High-resolution satellite imagery from NASA, CNSS, and ESE was quietly redirected to the landing zone. Leaked reports say that U.S. military satellites detected an unexplained electromagnetic anomaly just hours before the rover went dark. Meanwhile, Chinese officials requested emergency access to ISRO's raw data, fearing that whatever was found could affect Earth's electromagnetic balance. Some speculated that the anomaly might even be influencing communication satellites or Earth's magnetic field. In private meetings, the word containment was used. This was no longer just a lunar mission. It had become a planetary security issue. In a twist no one expected, a group of independent archaeologists and astrophysicists compared the radar-scanned geometries with ancient Vedic star maps. The results? The underground grid beneath the moon's south pole closely resembled sacred geometric patterns found in ancient Indian texts, specifically mandalas believed to encode cosmic knowledge. Coincidence? Mathematical convergence? Or something deeper? Dr. Rakesh Verma, a Sanskrit cosmology scholar, suggested that the geometry found under the lunar surface matches the proportions of a symbolic gate described in the Rig Veda, a portal leading to the place beyond the dark sky. While mainstream science remained skeptical, the similarities are now fueling a growing movement among philosophers and physicists alike that perhaps ancient civilizations knew something about the moon's true nature, something we're only now rediscovering. New data is beginning to surface, reportedly leaked from ISRO's internal network by anonymous sources. These files suggest that samples analyzed by Pragyan contained not only unknown compounds, but materials with photonic properties never before observed. The substance, scanned before contact was lost, appears to be photonic negative. It not only absorbs light across all visible and infrared spectrums, but may also bend or cancel out electromagnetic fields around it. This behavior implies the material could be metastable or even artificially engineered. One leaked report called it optical dark matter. If confirmed, this would mean that the moon's south pole contains a material that interacts with light and energy in ways we once thought impossible. A material that could, in theory, cloak entire structures or shield entire regions from detection. If such technology exists, or once existed, on the moon, then our understanding of physics isn't just outdated, it's irrelevant. With the world watching, and Chandrayaan-3 now silent in the shadows, the most terrifying question isn't what we found. It's what happens next. What if the moon isn't just a lifeless rock, but a container? A vessel holding technology or information from a past so ancient it predates all recorded history? What if our probes, in their curiosity, have begun to unlock something that was never meant to be accessed? What if Pragyan's silence isn't a failure, but a warning? Michio Kaku's most recent interview ended with one chilling sentence. There are things buried in this universe that we were never meant to touch. And maybe We already did. The world waits, but the moon remains silent. Chandrayaan-3 was meant to be a scientific milestone, a symbol of progress, a flag planted not out of arrogance, but out of hope. And yet, what it uncovered may not be a triumph, but a threshold. Because what if the moon's south pole wasn't untouched by accident? What if it was avoided? What if, beneath its frozen craters and eternal shadows, something ancient is waiting, silent, buried, and watching? Not a message, not a sign, but a question. Will they come again? We built a machine. We sent it across space. And when it touched that place, we lost control, not just of a rover, but of the story. And now, as scientists fall silent, satellites recalibrate, and physicists issue warnings instead of theories, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. We were not the first to arrive, and we may not be the only ones watching. What do you think Chandrayaan-3 really uncovered? Ancient technology? A natural anomaly? Or a remnant from something not of this world? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Share this video if you believe this discovery is not the end of a mission, but the beginning of a mystery far bigger than the moon itself. And don't forget to subscribe.